Heating and cooling is so important to our overall comfort. A lot of people call it comfort systems, and I totally agree with that. A question has come across my desk, and it's this. If you have an older heating and air conditioning system, can I save money by just replacing the outdoor unit? So what they mean by this is their AC unit, the one that's outside. I've asked Bruce Gammon to join me from Gammon's Heating and Cooling. He is an air conditioning and heating expert. Hey, Bruce, how are you?
I am great, Joe.
Yeah, thank you for joining me today. I'm sure you've heard this question before. I looked at the stuff on the inside. It looks pretty good, but the thing on the outside is kind of old and rusty. Can we just replace that? What's the answer?
Well, I appreciate you having me on, and I'm really chuckling inside my head. So that's we get this. This is a pretty commonly asked question, and the answer to that is with us in doing that, we just provided a service to the customer. That's there's certain cases where a new system that was just installed and something happened to the outdoor unit, and it was somebody ran into it with a vehicle or hit it with a lawnmower, and it needs to be changed because the system's brand new. Then I would say yes. If it's a system with some age on it, and when I mean age, could be as little as 4 or 5 years old. Again, we've talked about in another podcast about the cost of ownership. So these are great times to invest in a system that will save you money over a length of period of time, not invest in a system just to go with the cheapest price to get it up and running. You're not doing yourself any favors with your home and your cost to own your home.
Yeah, and Bruce, of course, you would know more than I do. Because I'm a radio guy and you're the guy out there, putting in these air conditioning and heating systems. But I would imagine you don't really want to mix and match parts, right? So if there's a system that's 8 years old and the outdoor unit is going to be replaced only, how do you know what to put there?
That's a good question. So how do you know what to put there? Number one, whoever you're using as a contractor doing this work should have that answer for you, and the answer should be provided in data. So let's show the cost of what a typical operating cost would be for the system you have, and let's show possibly what it could become. Throwing parts in old systems just to get them up and running is not something we do at our company, and I hope other contractors would agree with me. We're just not providing the best service to the customer by doing such a thing as that.
Yeah, we've all seen the car or truck on the road where you're like, what have they done to that car? That is not original equipment. But when it comes to your air conditioning system, it's even more important because it is science. And in case everyone doesn't understand how a cooling system works, it doesn't blow cold air. It might seem like it does. It removes the heat from the air. And so it's not as simple as a heating system. There's a lot of science there, and everything has to be just perfect. So if it's not sized right, and if the coils aren't clean, and you can go on, and if it's not cycling properly, it's not going to work well. So you might think it blows cold air. It feels like that, and it does, but it's really way more science than you think. It's actually pulling heat out of the air, and that's not simple, is it, Bruce?
That's right. That's right. And we would refer to that in our world as it's a heat rejection system. That's what we're doing with this indoor piece. We're rejecting the heat. We're taking out of the system. And when you walk out in the summertime and you notice that your outdoor units, there's some warm air coming out of the top or the side of that unit. It's coming from indoors. So there's a lot of things there's a lot of science, like you said, Joe, behind the sizing of this equipment. It needs to be properly sized. It needs to be properly maintained. If you're not properly maintaining your system, you're not getting the efficiencies out of it that the manufacturer has stated what that would be, because you're changing that environment that the system was originally rated in.
Yeah. Okay. So, in short, what do you say about replacing the outdoor unit?
That is typically not going to happen. You're not doing yourself any favors by just replacing the outdoor piece of equipment. We've got to match these things up. We've got to put the right system in that's going to do the right job for your home or maybe even small business.
I would totally agree. The best thing to do is call Gammon's Heating and Cooling. They're your experts in your neighborhood, and they'll be able to help you out. Just do the right thing. Don't put the wrong wheels and transmission on your car, okay? Same thing with your air conditioning system. When you have a new air conditioning system that's sized properly, you don't have to worry about anything, and you'll be the envy of the neighborhood. Hey, Bruce, thank you so much, as always, for joining me here on the program.
Thank you, Joe. I appreciate you having me on the program, and that was a great question.